victory. When racism came calling, you said no. Not in our city. You showed the majority abhor racism. How did you get here today? Bus, walked? I came in the metro? Maybe you drove and parked up? I'll tell you what, I bet you didn't come on a super yacht. It's not the people coming here on small boats that are making you poor, as Tommy 10 names would have you believe. Everything we've seen in these far-right riots, the assaults on police, the attacks on mosques, it's all happening because of lies. Everything we've seen. And we counter it with the truth. Let's start with the truth about these rioters. The people who are rioting, attacking taxis with nurses on the way to work, burning down citizens' advice centres, that has nothing to do with legitimate concerns, and everything to do with making themselves feel big. Send them to jail. And here's another truth. Most of them have been there before. And don't let anybody tell me that these people became criminals because they had a tough upbringing. That is such an insult to the millions of mothers and fathers and children living in poverty. Then there are those cheering on from the sidelines on social media. They use language like, "We want our country back." Are they telling the truth? No. What they really mean is, we don't like people with different colour skin. What they should say, if they were honest, is, "Wah, I don't like it if someone's a bit different from me. Wah, it makes me feel inadequate." Well, get over it, you far-right snowflake. Get a job and work hard like everyone else has to do. And if you want better wages, get organised and join a trade union. Because that's the truth. Every advance in pay and working conditions and better public services has come from trade unions and from working people coming together. Black and white, gay and straight, men and women, able-bodied and disabled, all standing together in solidarity. These racists are being conned. It's not the taxi driver working long shifts who's caused supermarket prices to rise. It's not refugees fleeing war who have forced millions to rely on food banks, while the 1% get richer and richer. Asylum seekers are the most powerless people in our society. They don't make the laws, because here's the truth. Even if immigration was reduced to zero overnight, you still wouldn't have your country back. You still wouldn't own your power or transport or water or mail and rail. You'd still be poor, and half our hospitals would have to close too. And here's another truth. Immigrants pay more in tax than they take in benefits or cost in the public services they use. Farage and Tommy 10 names are lying to you. They know the truth. It's the people with super yachts and private jets and their political lackeys who've put up your utility bills, who've skimmed the money off our NHS, who've monopolised food retail and banking and just about everything else. They know the truth because they're on the same side as the wealth extractors. Farage, who sucks up to Trump and the Russian billionaires, whose political projects have taken millions of pounds from rich foreign donors. Scapegoating is a distraction to stop working people from seeing the real problem. Don't fall for it. Ordinary working people who want a fairer deal and a better life for their kids, they take industrial action. They protest at hospital closures. They organise the mutual aid in their communities. They're the ones who come together to reopen the swimming pools closed by austerity, like the response of the multicultural community in the West End at Elsick Pool. If Farage and Tommy Ten Names had any love for the people of Britain, they'd be calling for a wealth tax, common ownership of utilities and our public transport, and a programme of council house building. But they don't. Farage wants to cut public services by 5% more than the Tories or Rachel Reeves. He also wants to remove employment protection so it's easier to sack people. That's the truth. It's published on the Reform website. Google it. He's on camera saying he thinks the NHS should be abolished and replaced by private health insurance and run by private companies, which would be a disaster for the very people who voted for him. It's true that your retirement is less secure than it was a generation ago. It's true that housing is increasingly unaffordable. And it's true that millions are in insecure employment. The working class kids who want a higher education have to take on huge debt just to get the skills that a modern economy depends upon. If you're looking for the root cause of this hate, it's that insecurity. Insecure people find it harder to be warm and compassionate. And if you're emotionally insecure and not secure in your own identity, scapegoating is seductive. And when the Pied Piper comes calling, saying the establishment lied to you, well, it looks convincing. It looks convincing because the establishment do lie to you. The Tories lied to us about austerity. They said if we cut spending, it would balance the books. That was a lie. When the Pied Piper says, look, these people make millions from their VIP WhatsApp lanes with fraudulent deals over PPE, it was true. They know, some of them were in on it. When they say, Starmer is lying to you, it's true, he lied about his 10 pledges. Reeves is lying about the 22 billion hole in the public finances. A wealth tax would raise 4 times that. Starmer has taken £73,000 in freebies, it's true. Do people believe this new government is serious about tackling poverty? How can they be when they keep the 2-child benefit cap and take the winter fuel allowance away from millions of pensioners? When they blame the Tories for cutting all investment in rail and then cut even more when they go into power themselves? No wonder people think they're all liars. And here's another truth. Mainstream politics has been too cowardly to stand up to xenophobia and racism. Farage getting on Question Time 35 times. He's got a season ticket. Theresa May's hostile environment. Mainstream parties appeasing dog whistle racism because they're trying to hoover up xenophobic votes. Starmer saying not enough people are deported to Bangladesh legitimizes these false narratives. By all means, wrap yourself up in the Union Jack. I actually quite like our flag. It's a mixture of beautiful colours working together. But they've appeased Islamophobia because they wanted to win in a few marginal, deprived seats. They've dehumanised the victims of war crimes and excused genocide in Gaza. We had a Labour councillor in this city guilty of spreading an outrageous Islamophobic conspiracy theory, and they still stood her as a candidate. Our former police and crime commissioner and current mayor was asked to apologise for obscene anti-traveller remarks. And she lied about apologising. There's still no record of an apology. Do you know that on Wednesday, the Labour Party nationally sent out a message when our communities most needed support, telling its councillors to stay away? Thankfully, there are still good people in the Labour Party, and I'm proud to share a platform with those who are brave enough to defy the whips and stand against racism. And we have some good local councillors who stand with their communities. Rebecca has my full support, as have Khaled and Habib. And I was there on Wednesday, as were other independents, and 1 or 2 Labour rebels. Our police and crime commissioner and our mayor were nowhere to be seen. They made sure they had their paper on their page, painting on their pictures on the paper though. No wonder people don't trust politics. So who's going to fix the broken transport system, the crumbling schools, the overburdened food banks, the ever-retreating pensions where people have to work longer and longer, where healthy life expectancy is going backwards. Is Keir Starmer going to fix it? No. Oh, it's a question, genuine question. Do you think Keir Starmer's going to fix it? No. Do you think the next Tory leader's going to fix it? No. Do you think Farage is going to fix it? Not a chance. People need hope. The majority want a wealth tax. The majority want a peaceful, multicultural society. The majority want better public services and an end to child poverty and common ownership of our energy, water, mail and rail. We want a sustainable planet where our kids can grow up. So yes, we came out on Wednesday, and we came out today, and we'll keep coming out until they get the message. But we have to win at the ballot box to change the way Britain is run. So I think we should take power ourselves, with a mass network of community independence, allied with those willing to put the truth above party politics. Don't let them salami slice the working class and turn us against ourselves. It's not the colour of your skin that matters. Britain should be run in the interests of the people who do the work, including those who aren't paid for their work, or are unable to work, or have retired from a lifetime of work. It's the working people of Britain who want our country back and our streets safe for everyone. Black and white, gay and straight, able-bodied, disabled, men and women, old and young. Join with me. We are the majority. Whose streets? Our streets! Whose streets? Our streets! Thank you.